Hello, lovely lover yogis. Welcome to our Valentine's special. We have a heart opening, love focused, oozy flow for you today. And I'd love for you to treat this as a little mini date for yourself. So, whether it's Valentine's Day when you're practicing this or another time, you always deserve to cocoon yourself in love, wrap yourself up, and fill up your own cup so that you can then serve others with that love. So, this next 15 to 20 minutes is all about investing in you, making yourself feel loved, feel held, feel cherished, and filling yourself up so you can then take that out into the world. In terms of props, you might want a couple of blocks or earth raisers. You'll also want a bolster or a pillow set up as I have here. And we're going to begin with it set up in this way so that we can find a reclined butterfly position. So what you're going to do is take your block or your pillows or whatever you're using at the top of your mat, and then take your bolster or a pillow on an angle, kind of downhill. So you put one end on your block and the other one comes down low. You might need another cushion or block or something for support for your head. You definitely don't want to just have your head hanging in space with this one. So reach for another prop just in case. And then when you're ready, come and join me in a reclined Baddha Konasana, a reclined butterfly here. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together, allowing the feet to be quite far away from the pelvis. So we've got quite a wide diamond shape. Knees can just gently fall out to the sides, and you may like to support them with some props also. Tailbone comes to the base of your bolster or your pillow, and then we'll slowly recline back onto that kind of downhill slope. And I'm just going to support my head here with the block. If you have something more comfortable, then please use that. Awesome. And then options for your arms, yogis. I am feeling cool to take them wide with the palms facing the sky so that I'm getting this really nice opening into my chest area, into my heart space. However, if this feels too much for you to begin the class with, if you're not quite ready for this much opening, then perhaps you'd like to bring one hand to your heart and one to your belly, finding a little more containment here. Choose what feels appropriate, and then I invite you to either close down your eyes or just take a soft gaze down the bridge of your nose, allowing your body to settle here in this shape, in this space, in this time. Giving yourself full permission to receive all of the benefits of this practice that is ahead of us, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And now starting to deepen your breath a little here, breathing in and out of the nose. As you breathe in, allowing the diaphragm to move down as it pushes the abdomen outwards, creating this balloon-like shape with the belly. And then as you breathe out and that diaphragm draws back up, feel the belly softening back towards your spine. All around of this deep belly breath here. And then bringing your awareness, yogis, to your heart center, to the center of your chest. And I learned this beautiful thing in one of my teacher trainings, that there is a sheath around the heart known as the pericardium that is attached to the diaphragm. So when we breathe deeply and allow the diaphragm to move down and up as it is made to do, it literally kind of tugs gently on that pericardium and massages our heart. So in breathing deeply and fully, you are giving your heart a gentle, tender massage, giving it some loving care and TLC. So thinking about that as you take one more round of deep belly breath here. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, we'll start to make our way to a seat. So being really gentle with yourself here, we'll roll to one side, bringing the knees together. Lying on your side for a moment here, enjoying this rest. And then gently pressing your way up to a seated position. We'll move our props out of the way. You may like to keep your blocks or your earth raisers handy. And then we will find once again a butterfly shape with the legs. So finding this nice opening through the hips. Holding the ankles here, allowing the shoulders to drop down away from the ears. We'll find some cow cats in this shape. So as we inhale, think about bursting that heart through the shoulders. Gaze can look towards the sky here. And then as we exhale, round through the upper back, roll the shoulders, think chin to chest as you rock back onto kind of the lower back area here. Again, inhale, lead with that heart as we burst forward and up. Exhale, round. Bowing to your heart. 2 more times here. Inhale, raise. Exhale, round. Inhale, raise. And exhale, round. Lovely. And then coming back to neutral. Keep the legs as they are or take a cross if this isn't super comfortable for you. We're just going to give our hands a little bit of love. So rubbing the palms gently here. Palms are a natural extension of our heart. In yin yoga, they are part of the heart meridian that runs along the arms and out through the fingertips. So we're just going to kind of connect with these here. So creating some warmth, some friction, some heat between palms. And then we're going to take the hands to the back of our neck. And then just allow yourself to give yourself a bit of an intuitive massage here, using the warmth and the gentle touch of your hands to work into any areas that feel a little tight, a little tense. Perhaps rub and activate that vagus nerve that runs down the back of the neck here behind the ears. You may like to bring the hands and cross them over the shoulders and then just kind of grace them down your arms. This is a practice known as havening. It's a beautiful way to create protection, to kind of wash off anything that you no longer need. Beautiful. And then we'll create a little hug for ourselves here. So we're going to take the right hand, the right forefingers, and tuck them under your armpit with the thumb facing up, almost like you're holding your heart here from the side. And then the other arm is just going to wrap around that opposite arm. So you're literally creating a beautiful container, a beautiful circle around your heart space. As you give yourself a wee cuddle here, and maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze and allow yourself to absorb, to receive your own love. You are so worthy and so deserving of this. And it starts with you. When you love yourself, you can love the whole world. Beautiful. Releasing that off, perhaps shaking through the hands, shaking through the fingers. And then we'll take the feet quite wide, soles of the feet to the floor, and lean back onto the hands as we just kind of tick-tock the knees. So now we're bringing a bit of movement into the lower body, allowing some blood flow into those hips that we've just opened in our butterfly pose. And you may like to enhance this by bringing a bit of a twist action into it, crossing one arm over and around the opposite shoulder. If you'd like a little more, you can raise up onto those knees and swoop the arm up and overhead. So now we're starting to welcome in some full body stretching and a really gentle kind of lateral / back bend here. There's going to be a few back bends to come in this class. That's a big focus in a heart-centered flow. So this will prepare our body nicely. Awesome. Coming back to center when you're ready. And then we'll come to tabletop position. So coming on to hands and knees. Spreading those fingers nice and wide. Knees about 2 fist widths apart here. Finding some gentle core engagement, thinking about lifting the pelvic floor as we draw the hip bones towards each other. And then cat-cows here. So inhale again, burst the heart through the shoulders, scoop that tailbone. Exhale, press around chin to chest. And allow yourself again to fully immerse in this movement, in this breath, in this moment. treating yourself with tender, loving care as you move mindfully and gently. Awesome. And then from a neutral spine position, we'll find anahatasana or melting heart pose. So the hips are nice and high over the knees, and we just simply walk the hands forward and out, allowing that heart once again to melt down between the shoulders. Now, you may like to take a block here, yogis, and take your forehead to the block. Perhaps your forehead can find the earth, or if there's lots of range of motion in your neck, perhaps you can take the chin to the chest and gaze forward. The focus here, yogis, is on opening through the chest, through the heart space. So bring your awareness there. Perhaps again, imagining that downward motion of the diaphragm as you breathe in and how it gently tugs the heart. And then that softening and releasing as you breathe out. One more round of breath here. Beautiful. And then walk the hands back in, slowly lift back up to tabletop. Flush that out with some hip circles or some cat cows, whatever feels intuitively good to you. And then we'll take our right foot forward outside that right hand. And then just kind of shimmy or wiggle the toes in so that they're between your hands. Now, if the floor feels really far away here, yogis, what you can do is take your hands to some kind of earth raiser so that you can find a little more length in your spine. Beautiful. And then from here, we'll inhale as we raise the arms, drawing that right hip back in space, allowing the left hip bone to drop down. And then here we're going to cactus the arms really open through that chest. Think about shining a light from the center of your chest forward and out. And then as you breathe out, round through the upper back, draw those elbows in towards each other, chin to chest. 2 more times. Inhale, burst, shine that light. And then this motion here as you round in is almost like an honoring, a bowing to your heart space. 1 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. So nice. And then raise those arms up long as you breathe in. Perhaps a little back bend is available to you as you press that right foot into the mat. And then hands frame that foot, come back, find your tabletop position, take a little wiggle, take a little sway there. Second round when you're ready, yogi. So just swing that left foot around to the side, place it outside that left hand, and then shuffle it into the center. Finding those earth raises if you need them. Pressing into that left foot, drawing the left hip back, and then inhale as we lift belly off thigh, reach those hands towards the sky. Nice. And then again, inhale, burst that heart forward as we open through the chest. Exhale, round chin to chest. 2 more. Nice. Next, inhale, drop those hips down, reach the arms up. Maybe find that back bend if you did on the first side. And then frame the foot with those hands. Find that tabletop once again, wiggle it out, sway it out. Amazing. Okay, from here we'll find our downward facing dog. So tucking those toes and then almost finding that melting heart, that anahatasana motion as we drop the heart down between the shoulders and press the hips up and back into downward facing dog. And when you arrive, perhaps you'd like to pedal through the knees and the feet. Maybe you'd like to sway the hips side to side. Maybe you'd just like to come straight to stillness. Your body, your yoga. Love yourself here by doing what it is that feels best for you today. Nice, yogis. And then on our next inhale, we'll look towards those hands. We can tiptoe, step, or hop the feet forward. And then inhale, finding a halfway lift here. Slight engagement of the core, thinking about drawing in those lower abs. Exhale as we fold. Bend the knees deeply as much as you need as the head hangs heavy. And then we'll interlace the fingers at the base of the spine and just allow those hands to fall over and forward, opening through the shoulders. Perhaps a sway feels good here. Nice. And then releasing that off. Again, finding that halfway lift as we inhale. And then maintaining that length in the spine. We'll press through the feet and continue to rise, circling the arms around ourselves, joining the palms above the head, and then drawing them down to heart center as we breathe out. Lovely, yogis. Okay, from here, let's inhale again, circle those arms, reaching up. And then as we breathe out, find that cactus with the arms. As we bend deeply through the knees, send the hips back, and just layer the heart over the legs, letting the head come down to hang, finding that forward fold. And then we'll unravel one vertebra at a time, coming back to standing. Again, inhale, raise the arms up, gaze can lift. Exhale, everything sort of melts as you send that heart forward and over. Dropping the head. Rolling up the spine. We'll go for one more here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lead with that heart. Shine it forward as you cascade over the legs. And then roll up one vertebra at a time back to Tadasana. Beautiful. From here, inhale, raise those arms. Maybe a little back bends there for you now if that feels good. And then exhale, fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, stepping back to a supported plank position, knees drop, and then finding a knees, chest, chin. So we kind of arch the spine, bend the elbows, let them brush the side of the body, and allow the heart and the chin to find the mat first. From there, we lead with the crown of the head as the hips scooch down and forward, finding a cobra. And then exhale, send everything back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Next inhale takes us to the front of the mat as we halfway lift. Exhale, fold, let it go. Ground to rise, arms above the head, maybe back bending. Flowing straight into round two. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift here as you inhale. And then once again, knees, chest, chin. So knees drop down, chest follows. Chin completes that action. And then we lead with the crown of the head into our cobra. Exhale, sending it all back, downward facing dog. Really nice. From here, let's unravel back into a plank position. Just for a moment so that we can lower the body all the way down to the mat. From here, finding your cobra once again. And we've got options here, yogis. If this is too much, perhaps you want to come into a sphinx, which gives you a little bit more support there. Perhaps you want to drop your cobra nice and low, so it's just a little mini guy. Or if you're after a bit more today, bring the hands further back near those floating ribs and come into an upward facing dog with the hips lifted. We are going to hold this for a round of breath. So really think about drawing the mat back towards you with your fingertips, bursting that heart through the chest as you press with the tops of the feet into the mat here. This is a really strong and powerful pose, but also a beautiful one to really open through that heart space. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And then sending it back to your downward facing dog or your child's pose. Really nice, yogis. Okay, from here, let's look between the hands and step that right forward between them so that we can then press into that right foot and raise ourselves up into crescent lunge here. Nice. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands together in front of our heart. And as we inhale, we'll find the sternum, so find the breastbone with the tips of your thumbs, and think almost about like hooking them under there so you can just gently lift the heart up and back. Gaze can come to sky. And then as you exhale, press into the ball of that back foot, hinge from the hips, come forward into your arrowhead. Two more times, press with the thumb bones into the sternum, lift the heart up. Exhale, hinge it forward. Inhale, lift and press it up. Exhale, hinge it forward. And from here, we're going to find a flying warrior. Hands stay at the heart center. You may like to kind of tap that back foot in closer so that you've got that sense of stability that's going to then lift you up into your balance. Finding your drishti here, your focus point, as we rotate pinky toe to floor on that left leg. And then as we inhale, can we perhaps raise the heart up and forward just a little bit more, drawing the elbows in. Beautiful. And then bend deeply through that front knee. Come back to your crescent lunge, thumbs to sternum as we lift. And then hands frame that foot as we come back, downward facing dog. Stay here, find a round of breath, or come with me as we take a vinyasa, coming through to our supported plank, knees, chest, chinning it down, finding a cobra or an up dog, and then sending it back to our downward facing dog. Okay, second side, yogis, left foot steps forward here, grounding down as we lift up and into our crescent lunge. And then hands once again connect at the heart space. Pressing thumbs into sternum here as we scoop the heart up and back. And then exhale, hinging forward. 2 more rounds. From the third round, we're lifting up and into our flying warrior and staying at heart center if they can. You can, though, however, take the hands to blocks if balance isn't really your friend today. Remembering that this practice is about loving ourselves, caring for ourselves, and giving ourselves the support that we need. As we inhale, lifting the heart up just a little bit more, and then nice, big, generous bend in that front knee. Once more, lifting that heart up and back, and then taking your flow from here or sending it back to your downward facing dog. So nice, yogis. After you have arrived in your downward facing dog, we will drop the knees to the mat and set up for a camel pose. Now, you may like to have some blocks, some earth raises outside your ankles. Our knees are about hip distance apart here. We'll take a breath. I need to catch mine. And then we'll set up for our little mini back bend. So we've got a few options. We can take the hands to the lower back, almost like we're sliding them to the pocket of our jeans. Or we can bring the hands to our blocks. Or if you are seasoned and practiced with your camel pose, Ustrasana, and you'd like to keep your hands at heart center, make sure you're engaging that core and you can take it from there. Whichever you choose, the focus here, yogis, is on, again, lifting that heart up and back, curving the body back, and then finding perhaps the blocks, maybe keeping the hands on the lower back, maybe letting the head drop back if that's okay for the neck. If not, that's fine. You can look forwards. And then for those with your hands at your heart, really engaging through the core. Beautiful. Preparing to come back up. Everyone really engaging that core. Head comes last. Setting those hips back on the heels here. Palms facing up in your lap. Just take a moment. Absorbing that back bend. And then we'll come to lie on our backs, yogis, keeping a block or two handy. We'll find a constructive rest as you lower one vertebra at a time to the mat, bringing the feet about hip distance apart, soles of them to the floor. And here we're going to find some breathing bridges. We'll hold the last one. So if you know you like to have a supported bridge, make sure you have that block ready. We'll go for 3 rounds. So as we inhale, yogis, pressing into the mat, raising those hips up off the floor, the arms are going to sweep up and overhead in the process. And then as we breathe out, reaching those arms or waving them back down alongside the hips as we connect one vertebra at a time to the mat. Finding a little scoop of the tailbone in the opposite direction when you arrive there. So it's like you're tipping the pelvis forward, finding that anterior tilt. And then again into your bridge. So reverse, scoop the tailbone up, finding the posterior tilt, press into the feet, lifting. Sorry, arms are in there too. Arms up and over the head. Exhale, wave it all down like a string of pearls, one vertebra at a time connects with the mat. Beautiful. And then this time we're going to lift up and hold our bridge. So feel free to slide that block underneath you. If wheels in your practice and you'd like to take that, bringing the hands alongside the ears, fingertips facing the shoulders, and then pressing into hands and feet as you come up and in here. Whichever position you've chosen, awareness, focus on the heart center. And then slowly, slowly coming out of that, yogis, wherever you were. Finding that constructive rest once again, soles of the feet to the floor. And then from here, melting into your Shavasana. So for me, I feel really cool to revisit that butterfly shape with my legs here. And I want to keep that openness in my chest. So my hands are actually going to stay up in this cactus shape, up alongside my ears. Other options, however, are to slide the legs long, place the hands alongside the hips in a more traditional Shavasana. Or perhaps find that more internal connection with your heart by placing one hand on it and one on the belly. Wherever you are now, close down the eyes. Allow the bones of the body to feel dense and heavy, knowing they're held by the earth below you. Noticing the breath as it smooths and slows back down. Becoming aware of your heart as it beats in your chest. It's unwavering, unobstructed life force that beats continuously, holding you steady. Feel free to stay here, yogis, or if you're ready to wrap up, gently rolling to one side, pushing yourself up as you're ready. Just keep those eyes closed or a soft gaze as you come to a seat. Placing one hand on your heart center and the other hand on top. Feeling the warmth, the connection between your hands and your heart. Bringing to mind in this moment one thing that you are deeply grateful for. Allowing your lips to curl into a smile as you think of this thing or person or experience. With that gratitude, that love radiating out of you, we'll close our practice by bringing the palms together. And I bow to you, to this time we've spent together, to this beautiful practice. And of course, to your loving and open heart. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Now, yogis, if you are enjoying these practices with me and you feel like you would like to dive deeper, then I am offering some personalized yoga coaching, some one-on-one sessions. These include a 60-minute consult with me in which we chat about your intentions, your lifestyle, the time you have available, what you would like to achieve. We look at a little bit of range of motion. Perhaps we do some breathworks and meditation within that session too. And then from there, I go away and I create for you a personalized yoga program of about 6 weeks, all supported via an app. So you'll get videos, you'll get audio guides, you'll get imagery, everything you need to then go and deepen your yoga practice on your terms in your space. You'll also get access to me via a chat so that we can celebrate your wins. You can check in with questions, you can hold yourself accountable and all of those things. And so if you're interested in that, then I will pop a link below this video, and you can also feel free to email me or contact me on Instagram. Otherwise, until next time, have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever you are, and I'll see you soon. Bye, yogis.